So one day, when I was young, we lived in a big house and we lived on the second floor. And the first floor had been vacated. Nobody was living there. And so we used to use that as our play area and have lots of fun. Well, one rainy day, we decided that we were going to play on the first floor. And so we were wandering around and we noticed that the shades in the house were thick, dark, covering, sun-blocking shades. Well, to hold those shades down, there was a thin stick at the bottom of the shade that you would use to grab and pull. Well, when one of those accidentally fell out, we thought, hey, this looks just like a sword. And so, what did we start doing? My friends and I started having sword fights. Well, at one point, I went to swing my sword and it hit the shade and sliced the shade. We thought that was cool. So we proceeded to have our sword fights slicing up the shades. Well, when Mom and Dad found out that we cut up all the shades, it wasn't very nice. So, needless to say, my spending money or allowance for many weeks went to paying back for those ripped up shades. Story 2.
In control.
Good.
It's me. Kermit, we're having a meeting here, man. You're being really rude, Frog. Pardon us, please. Animal, I need to talk to you for a second.
We're getting the Muppets back together. We need you to drum again.
Animal drum? Yes.
Please, sir.
Drum! 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 In control. Good. I'm Animal's court-appointed sponsor. We don't use the D-R-U-M word. It's his trigger word. His trigger word?
Excuse me, Mr. Black, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but it's very important to these guys that they get their drummer.
It's my trigger word, too.
Jack, we talked about this on Tuesday.
Tuesday's another one of my trigger words!
Big son! Sorry.
What's going on? Animal, go, Animal, be free, man! But remember, no drumming!
So one day, I had this game called the Muppet Show game. And my favorite character in the game was Animal, Animal, Animal. So one day, I brought it to school so I could show my friends my favorite toy. Well, this boy in my class took the toy Animal and scratched his face off, so you couldn't tell it was Animal any longer. Well, I was so angry that when we were going back into school, I pushed him into the wall as hard as I could. Of course, somebody saw me do it, and I got in trouble. But I'll never forgive him for what he did to Animal. Story number 3. When I was young, it was just me, Mom, and Dad. And I had them all to myself. Then my little brother came along. I was not happy. He was getting all the attention. He was getting everybody saying, "Ooh, what a cute little baby." So, one day,
Rick.
I was so jealous that one day, while Mom was holding him, I bit his finger as hard as I could. But I got in trouble. Oh, I love my little brother now, but back then, oh, what a pain. Story number 4.